Welcome to the Easy Project with your boy Eddie.
And your boy zebbyt. This podcast is about athletes transitioning into business and also the business leaders around the Gold Coast.
And Zebby and I have played NRL for 10 plus years.
And we're utilising the skills that we've learned over our NRL career to inspire others to chase their dreams and goals. Let's go!
Okay, episode 8. Welcome to the Easy Project. And we've got a special guest here, Alex Glenn. Welcome, brother.
Let's go,
Hey,
man.
boys. Thanks for having me, man.
Hey, bro. It's good to have you here, man. We know you're a very busy man, by the way. But before
all
we
busy.
start,
Appreciate
we appreciate your time. But before we start, we always like to give what we call the flowers, the introduction to our brothers that come on. So
Let's go.
I've got to keep this nice and short because yours is just too long.
Bro, it's like that.
I'm going like this,
bro.
man. We'll just keep this nice and short, okay? And you can fill us in on what I've missed out on. All right, so born in New Zealand, but moved to the GC as a 14-year-old, playing for the famous Burleigh Bears club, known as an up-and-coming touch player, making rep squads throughout your teens, and in 2007, making the under-20s national development squad, and also being part of the junior Kiwi setup with our boy Eddie here.
Let's go.
Oh,
What a
let's
team,
go,
what a team,
baby.
mate. What a
Hey,
team.
what a
This is where it gets exciting. A Brisbane Broncos legend, 4th highest games in Broncos history of 288.
Damn.
A one club man, retired in 2021, also played international footy for the Kiwis and the Cookies. Up the Cookies, let's go. A gym owner of the legacy through movement,
What
a
a gym.
gamer, an ambassador of many brands. Can't keep up. My Cook Island brother, the man known to many as Lexi, Alex Glenn. Kia ora. Welcome to the Easy Project. Let's
Kia
go.
ora,
go,
boys.
bro.
Me taki,
What about
me
that,
taki.
man?
Thank you for gassing me up like that, bro. I'm grateful. I'm grateful to be here. And obviously, you know, proud of what you boys have done and the conversations that you're having for the people out in the world to see and hear.
I appreciate it,
good,
man.
man. Like-
That's been good.
We always always touch base on this. Hey, there's a hit list. We say, hey, bro, we're gonna get the Lex on.
Oh, man. That was the first one.
We're the
Like,
king
I'm
of
gonna get
King of Brisbane, and I don't know. Do we call him the king of GC as well? Because
You
he's
might
just
as well,
making
man.
moves everywhere, left, right, and centre. Ambassadors of many brands.
He is.
What's the latest
man.
going on, bro? First before we start? Sorry. How's the family, man? Like we want to touch base with the family and that.
Yeah, well, bro. Family's going good, man. I thought, you know, when you retire, you're going to have more time for family, but I feel like I'm working more than I ever did when I was playing footy, eh?
True, eh?
And like, you look back on our footy career, I was like,
Yeah.
bro, we had so much time,
100%.
whereas we thought we didn't.
Yeah,
Family's good. Can't complain, bro. The kids are well. They're 8, 7, and 3 now. Growing up so fast, bro. And Miller's full on into footy. I don't know where he gets that from, but he loves it, lives and breathes it. My daughter's into dancing, and Oakley's just into dinosaurs, bro. So I can't complain.
Busy household, man, which is
Busy
good.
household, bro. And Jem's got her own dog breeding company as well. So we breed golden retrievers at home. And
Oh, man.
so every
Love
weekend
it.
she goes out and she does her shows with the dogs
Yeah,
because she wants the dogs to be championship titled before she
true.
breeds with them. So she does it the right way.
It's
And
crazy. That's why I always wondered, what's the dog thing going on? And then you've obviously
yeah,
told us.
yeah, that's been her hobby, man. She's always been she's been a vet nurse for nearly 20 years, and she's always wanted to go down that line of work in terms of breeding golden retrievers. We've always had goldens.
Yeah.
We love them. It's such a family dog, bro. And why not start having our own? And so she had her first litter last year, which was amazing.
That's me.
And Badru was the dad. He's like been the #1 golden retriever dog in the country for the last 4 years. So he was the dad with our championship girl. And yeah, bro, we had 8 beautiful puppies, man. They were sold before they were even born. So it was beautiful, bro. It was beautiful.
Look at that, man.
Yeah.
Busy household.
Yeah, busy
Everyone's
household.
running.
Busy
The kids
household.
are running their businesses.
The kids are going to be running businesses like at the age of like
Man.
6, 7. Man, killing it.
Bro, you just got to dive in the deep end, eh? And
Yeah,
see
that's
how you
it.
go, bro.
Wow, good on you guys,
100%.
man.
Good on you, man.
Nah, thank
Look,
you.
before we kickstart our episode, just give us a rundown about your upbringing.
Yeah, bro. So I was born and raised in Auckland. Grew up in a place called Beach Haven on the North Shore. Everyone's like, "Oh, North Shore, it must be nice." But bro, my area was like the hood of the North Shore.
Yeah.
Like you got Takapuna and all that. That is beautiful on the water, man. But you know where I come from, it was a bit of a Bronx, bro. And I'm grateful for it, man, because it taught me a lot in terms of, you know, who I am and the resilience within myself. Grew up, you know, like my area was surrounded by drug and alcohol and gang life. And, you know, it got to a point where mum was like, I don't want this for my kids.
Yeah.
And you know what? It was very lucky. She won a trip to the Gold Coast, just ironically, and she brought my younger sister over here with her. And at the time, I was doing orienteering for nationals in New Zealand, so I couldn't come on the trip. And they were here for 10 days on the Goldie. Absolutely loved it. She come home, and she goes, "Son, we're moving.
Yeah.
We're packing up and leaving." And I was like, "What do you mean?" Because we all come from a big family.
Yeah.
I was surrounded by my cousins, my family back in New Zealand. Went to school with all of them. My footy, I played for Northcote Tigers ever since I was 5. And I was surrounded by all my friends and family. So moving to a place in a country that we knew no one, had no family there, was a bit of a scare for me and for mum. But she just said the opportunities that we're going to create for you and the kids is just like limitless. And it was the best decision that, you know, mum could have ever done for us because of the doors that are open for us. I still think about it a lot, man. Like, you know, all my best friends that were back there, they were having kids at a very young age. And that could have easily been me. You know what I mean? Because we didn't really have anything. We didn't have any goals. No one was talking about ambitions or what you wanted to do and achieve back there. It was just like everyone was keen to go to work and then party on the weekend, bro. And that was the stereotype back in New Zealand, bro. And that's not to put shame on it, bro, but that's just how it was. There was no one that was keen to travel the world. There was no one that was ambitious of wanting more. But my mum took a leap, bro, and it was the greatest thing that we ever did. Don't get me wrong, it was scary. I had homesick for the first 2 years. You know what I mean? I missed my family like crazy. You know, also showed resentment towards my mum because I was like, why have you done this to us? But what it did is it allowed me to grow out of my comfort zone, meet new people, meet new friends, and it just expanded, you know, who I was as a person, bro. I wasn't just this kid from the Bronx now that, you know, the sky was a limit. I had endless opportunities to create for myself, bro. And I made sure that I made every opportunity, you know, come to fruition for myself.
What was the culture-wise? Because that would have been a culture shock for you guys coming from New Zealand to Australia. I know it's close, but it's totally different.
Bro, it was totally different because I went to Miami State High School over here, bro, and the demographic there was like, there was only a handful of Polynesians at that school at the time. So going from, you know, a culture where I was surrounded by Polynesians and you know, Māori kids to having barely anyone, bro, it was hard. But like I said, I had to adapt. I had to really come out of my comfort zone and learn about other people's cultures, learn about, you know, how other people were raised. Because for us, family was everything. But for others, you know, their friends meant more to them than family. You know what I mean? So the culture differences was different, but it allowed me to expand, man. I picked up the love for surfing. We got to do surfing at school, bro. I was always a bodyboarder, but we didn't have waves like we do over here. So yeah, bro, it was hard to adjust. But where I felt at home was when I found the footy field. Because, bro, you can be in any cultural background, bro, but when you play footy, bro, it's the same language, man. It's the same stuff. So that's where I signed up with the Burleigh Bears. And ironically, Sam Stewart, who was a New Zealand great, Newcastle Knights great, he was my coach at under 15s, bro. So he embedded a lot of the professionalism in our Burleigh culture and also our Kiwi culture as well. He brought that family culture to it. So my Burleigh team, which ironically Casey Lyons, the living co-founder, he was one of my first friends from that team. It allowed me to become my new family, bro, in a way.
Yeah, crazy, because like you think about like your upbringing in the GC, man, like you're still so tight with a lot of them boys, like that's your crew. And that's the one thing I love about like yourself is that, you know, you have your footy side here, you have your teammates that you play professionally with, but I can see you're always, you know, going back to that same core group of boys that you grew up with on the GC.
For sure.
You know, when we go back to you coming over, like, bro, like, with that transitioning, like how did that feel like going, you know, you're in the high school setting, because like, you know, I know what Miami's like and I go there like almost every single week to deliver a program. That's crazy, man. It's still the same.
Still the same.
And like you're fresh out of New Zealand, got that New Zealand like slang and all that. You gotta try and find your way.
100%, bro.
How do people adapt to you at first?
Bro, at first, man, it was like I said, I was the only poly boy that walked into my class, man, and I got buddied up with a guy called Daniel Kokas. And it just actually worked out well. Like his dad was Mark Kokas, who actually brought a lot of footy players to Burleigh Bears and then got them picked up from clubs. And so it was ironic that things happen for a reason, you know what I mean? I got buddied up with Daniel and, learnt about his culture and where he was raised and all that stuff and what was his hobbies. And being a shy boy, bro, it was like... I was quiet as, man. I was quiet as. But where we really bonded, again, was at lunchtime. He was like, bro, you like footy? I was like, yeah, man. Hell yeah. And so as soon as we went on that footy field, bro, we just become close as. And then as I got comfortable with him, after knowing that he loves sport, bro, I was able to open up a bit. Because, us Kiwi boys, like poly boys, we are very shy and we stay in our shell or bubble for a long time until we trust a lot of people. And that's not an arrogant thing. That's just how we were raised, bro. We're always taught to be humble and to be grateful and respectful as well. And sometimes we don't know how to share or open up to people, and it can come across as an arrogance thing. But yeah, man, I was very quiet, man. And once I started mingling with the players or the people on the footy field, bro, I just started to slowly come out of my shell and put myself out there a lot more.
Yeah. So with the footy thing, obviously we touched based on playing the touch game. Were you always in love with, because in New Zealand, rugby union was like the pinnacle game.
Yeah.
Did you fall in love with rugby league when you came to Australia, or was it before that?
Nah, from day dot, bro.
Hey.
My family was rugby league through and through.
Yeah.
Still played union at school and that, but like my uncles, they were all rugby league, played for the Tigers. Two of my uncles were in the Melbourne Storm system back in the day. So yeah, ever since I could run, bro, I had a rugby league ball in my hand, bro, and rugby league was everything. It was everything, bro. That's me. Man. So there was no second guessing, oh man, should I play union or league? It was just league through and through, bro.
Wow.
Yeah.
So with the touch thing, man, take me through it. Like, man, like, is that where you get all your mad fancy footwork and everything from? Like, because like, I'm just thinking this guy, man, never gets pumped in the games. He's just always using that mad footwork.
All the time,
must be that
well,
touch
bro,
background.
I wasn't the biggest, back row on the field, bro. So I had to use my strengths, which was my footwork and that. And to be honest, since I was young as well, touch was always something that I played. Again, touch was huge back in Auckland. And, it was a sport that I honestly loved. I lived and breathed it. So coming through high school, man, mum sent me to Miami purposely because she knew if I went to PBC or Kibra, I wouldn't have focused on school. And at that time, I didn't know there was league schools over here. So I went to Miami and they had touch programs. So I was like, sweet, how good, bro. So I jumped in that. And it got to a point where, when I turned 16, my passion for footy really died off. I was having back problems as well. And I've shared the story multiple times where like I had to give up footy for a long, it was a couple of years because if I was to go into a bad tackle, bro, I could have been a paraplegic. And that wasn't a risk that I was willing to take and put that pressure on my family. So I gave it up and it was hard, bro. As a teenager, bro, footy's everything. It was a hard decision to do, but everything happens for a reason. So I really dove into touch footy heavily. I was playing it 3 times a week, playing nationals as well. And literally it taught me so much in terms of my decision making, my attacking skills, my defensive skills, because you got to read and you got to react. Which ultimately helped me become a competitive back rower, bro. You look at the touch players that were gone, that are transferred to rugby league, like your Sean Johnsons, your Kalen Pongas. Bro, it looks like they got so much time on that field because that touch background, you got to react quickly. You got to make decisions very quickly. It's such a fast game. You know what I mean? And Oztag, there's a lot of similarities with Oztag and rugby league, but in terms of touch, bro, like the skill sets that you create from that, you got to react off the cuff, bro. And it's honestly still in my eyes, one of the best games in the world, bro. I play it now that I've retired from footy because there was one sport that I missed. So I play that twice a week down at Palmy, bro, and I love it, man. I'm a bit too heavy for it, but I still love it, bro.
Hey,
I still love
gee,
it.
It's so funny. Me and Eddie are playing in this team. We like the AIM Foundation put a team in the Southpaw comp. We're like Div 3. Is it Div 3?
Div 3, mate.
Yo.
Mate,
We haven't won the game.
We're 0 from 6.
Yeah.
We're 0 from 6. But like you said, like, you know, just the retreating, like everyone just dumping the ball. Man, I can't even keep up. How do you guys? This is so humbling, man. Like I'm just down thinking, how do you guys play this game, man? I've never played like.
Well, it's like any sport, bro. There's tactics, you know what I mean? And it's for me, what I love most is it's like playing chess in touch, bro. Your set plays, your set moves all come down to the person that you make the touch on, which dictates which way you're going to split and all that stuff. And that's what I love about it, bro. I've always had that love for the game of touch, bro. And although I play social touch down at Palmy, bro, I'm still so competitive.
Oh, 100%.
Still
Like we're like that too, eh?
competitive,
Hey, make that touch.
Yeah,
Like,
100%. And if someone don't jam, bro, I'm like, I bite my tongue, but in my head I'm going, come on, man. Come on, man. Systems, bro. Systems.
Give you another 3 more weeks ago. Nah, I'm gonna start ripping dudes now, bro.
Yeah, I love it, bro. I love it. It's such a good sport, bro, and it teaches you a lot, and not just rugby league. It teaches you a lot in terms of sport in general, bro.
Yeah, that's mad. You're giving back to the community there too.
100%.
Oh,
That's
it's
good,
cool.
man.
It's cool. And like our team that I play for, I got my old Miami high school team. So like it's like my old coach, a couple of our boys and that on a Monday, and then on our Thursday we got a team called D&Ms, which is dads and mums. So it's like you know, all our school friends and our partners, we all play in the social game.
You don't take it hard on the girls, do you?
Sometimes.
Yeah, sorry.
Sometimes. My missus probably cops the wrath more than anyone else. It's only because I want you to be better, babe. But, it's cool, bro. Like when you get to set them up and when they score a try, you get pumped for that, bro. And honestly, we got more kids on the sideline than we do on the field, bro. It's funny because we're all just mums and dads, bro. So like we got 15, 16 kids running amok on the sideline, and they love it because they just play footy, or the girls are just mucking around playing mums and dads, and it's cool for our kids to connect on that pathway too,
mad.
bro.
No, that's good, man. That's good.
Mad.
Bringing all your childhood friends together and then bringing your kids all together. That's so good.
Hard, bro. 100.
All right, let's take it back to the NRL.
Yeah, let's go.
What was
Let's
debut
dive
like,
into it.
man?
Yeah.
Debut was surreal, bro. I think it's always a highlight for every footy player because it allows you to reflect on the journey that's taken you to get there. I think all the hard work, the sacrifices that your parents have made for you, you know, the dedication that you're showing to want to get that far. It's just it's the icing on the cake for yourself. And I still remember, you know, Ivan Hendrick was our coach at the time, and the team gets announced on Tuesday. Out with the newspapers. So he told me on Tuesday morning that I was going to debut on the bench as the 14 utility role. So I was pretty pumped, man. He called me into the office and he goes, are you happy with that? I was like, trying to keep it calm. I was like, yeah, of course. Yeah, wherever you need me to play, like, that's where I'll play, bro. But deep down inside, I was screaming, bro. I just want to jump up and down. And that phone call that I made to my mom and my dad back home was the best. You know, it was pretty emotional. It was the best feeling in the world because it felt like all the hard work has paid off. You know what I mean? And I've been able to achieve this dream that I set for myself as an 8-year-old kid. From Beach Haven, you know, wanting to achieve more and want more and try and open more pathways for the kids back at home. You know what I mean? And so, that debut, bro, it was just a whirlwind, man. My family come over, my uncle and auntie come over from New Zealand. Running out at Suncorp, bro, was just 54,000 fans, bro. Broncos, Cowboys, you know,
biggest
game, you know, biggest game, bro. And it was the first game of the NRL, so everyone was watching. And I remember, you know, Darren Lockyer was my captain, my Corey Parker, Sam Thido, all these greats that I looked up to, and I was like, how am I about to put this jersey on? I'm lacing up with these boys and about to run out. Like, how am I in this position? You know what I mean? It was a pinch yourself moment. And I still remember, so the starting team runs out first, right? And then all the bench players take a left and we run down to the corner. And I was just like looking around going, what the hell, bro? This is the mecca of rugby league, bro. I had goosebumps and I was just like, man. And I remember Crowley, who's one of our trainers, he was like, just soak this moment in. Soak this moment in because this is what it's all about, bro. And I knew I was going on the first 20 minutes or after the first 20 minutes. I didn't know where. We were just going to see how the game was going, but I was going on and I was going to be that second interchange. And I just remember looking up, just watching that clock, bro. And the nerves was just building up, bro. I had to go into the sheds and spew up, bro, because I couldn't handle it, bro. I was like, I didn't feel sick, man, but I didn't know how to deal with this nerves, bro. And so, like, I couldn't keep still. I was fidgetive as. So I ran into the sheds. I spewed up. Then I come down. And then 10 minutes later, I had to run back in again and spew up. And then while I was in the sheds, the trainer came running in. He goes, Lex, you're about to go on. I was like, damn. So I had to spray water on my face and, like, pretty much psych myself up. Like, this is your moment. Let's go. And so when I was about to run on, I remember Sammy and that just said to me before the game, as soon as you get on, just get an early touch, get an early carry, you'll get into the game. And so that moment where I passed it to the trainer and I ran on that field, all I could think of was scoop, bro. Take a scoop, man. And literally, my first run, I got smashed. I got smashed, bro. But it was cool because I was like, yo, the adrenaline was in now. I'm on. Let's go. Let's bang, man. And we ended up winning that game. So it was a blissful moment for myself, my family.
That's amazing.
Sometimes it takes something like that, to just wake you up and get you in the game, man. Like, boom. Oh, sweet. Welcome to the big leagues. Let's go. We're on now.
Hard. Hard. And like, to be fair, I think every debutant does this, bro. But I went on the field and I was kind of waiting for someone else, the bigger names, to do things. And I didn't know where to fit or where I was going to play, you know what I mean? And so I'll just get the ball and then I'll tip on, or you know what I mean? It took me a bit to get into my groove. But then one of the boys said, like, you're in this team for a reason. Just go out there, find your front, get a quick play the ball, and I just kept it real simple, bro. Made sure I wasn't that player that was not tying in third man or you know, keeping that space in between my defenders, getting bigger and all that stuff. So I just made sure my 1%ers were on top of everything. Made sure I did my job. I knew I wasn't going to go out there and create something that Benji Marshall would do. You know what I mean? I was just like, I just had to do my job, bro, and it was cool.
That's mad because when you look back at it, like just going from what you were talking about, you speak about all the little things doing it right. Now, you would have made so many sacrifices over time to get to where you were, making that debut. Give us a run back on the sacrifice that you made going through that period to debut.
For sure. Well, my journey started when I come back at the start of 2007. You know, I just graduated from high school, went to schoolies and all that. And then all my mates transitioned into work. And I was sitting there going, what am I going to do? You know what I mean? And it was kind of a shock to myself in terms of, like, school's done now. What are you going to do for yourself? What are you going to create for yourself? And I had nothing, bro. And it was kind of embarrassing for myself. So I pretty much tried trades, hated it. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to give everything to football. And so I made a commitment to myself that I was going to make sure that there was no stone unturned in terms of coming back to footy. So I joined back up with Burleigh Bears in the Colts side. And I started training there, and we had the post sessions against the Cup team. And I must have done something right because Jimmy Lenahan called me after that session. He was a coach for the Queensland Cup, and now he's ironically with the Titans. He rang me and wanted me to do the rest of the preseason with the Cup team. So going from training with the boys to now training with men, like, I had to learn the art of rugby league very quickly because, like I said, I went from playing touch competitively to now I'm jumping into rugby league. So my body had to change real quick because I had to learn how to get in the gym. I had to bulk myself up. So I was pretty much in a fast forward pace in terms of learning the craft of rugby league, building my physique. So I was this person that I went and seen the trainer and said, how do I bulk up? what's a gym program that I can use, because I was just this 17-year-old turning 18-year-old that was fresh out of high school, that was willing to learn, bro. And at that time, bro, partying was everything, right? But for me, my goals and my ambitions was so much higher than a party could ever be. And so I sacrificed partying with my mates, and I was getting that sleep Friday night, training with the boys on Saturday, and we'd do conditioning and that, and then I'll recover, sleep Saturday night, so I could train on my own on Sunday morning. Because I knew, and my uncles that were in the Melbourne Storm system, they said there's only a small amount that will make it, so you got to be doing something that no one else is willing to do. So I was like, my Sundays, I'm going to sacrifice that, and I'm going to get up and I'm going to do hill sprints. And we lived on this property that had the steepest hill ever, and so I would make sure I had 8 hours sleep. And Sunday morning, I was grinding, bro, and I was doing hill sprints. I was doing my own training. I made sure that I was doing my own training even before cup training. I was going into the gym and I was doing my own gym workout before I went to training with the club. And it's like, you look at the athletes and it's pretty bit cliche, but it worked for me, bro, and it actually helped me, because in 6 months later, I signed with the Brisbane Broncos. You know what I mean? So all that sacrifice that I put in that 6 months, it paid off. And I was willing to do that because my goals exceeded any party that ever did. Don't get me wrong, I went to a party here and there, but I made sure, that I earned it. And I made sure that, I was willing to do double the work the next week.
That's
I feel like everyone goes through that little bit of like, what have you sacrificed to get to where you are today? And you've just told us then, like, just a relentless, because you're like a touch player. You're like you've come through the system as like making all these rep teams and that, and then you're walking back into rugby league for a very long time.
Especially hurting your back in it as well.
So you've got to find ways to get up with the rest of the pack, because there's a lot of the boys that are your age have gone on that you've probably seen and goes, man, like, I need to get to that level. And you've done it in the space of like a year. Just sacrificing like 6 months worth of.
100%.
Well, the motive and the motivation for myself was where I came from. You know what I mean? Mum took an opportunity for us to come here, so why am I going to waste this? You know what I mean? So that was the driving pillar behind me getting up when on those days where I didn't want to. Mike Tyson says that the best discipline, bro, is doing the things that you hate to do, but doing it like you love it. That was me, bro. You know what I mean? There was days where I didn't want to do conditioning. There was days where I didn't want to do gym. I didn't want to do hill sprints. But I created the stigma within myself, was like, I'm not going back to where I come from, bro. I'm going to do this because it's my purpose is so much more than just me. You know what I mean? I wanted to pave that way for other kids coming from the hood, so that they can chase their dream and go, if Alex can do it, then why can't I? You know what I mean? And bro, that's what got me out of bed. And I say to the kids, my journey, it doesn't happen like that for many people. I was just very fortunate that I created doorways and gave myself opportunities. So when that opportunity arose, I was ready to go and pull that trigger, man. And, signing with the Broncos 6 months after playing rugby league again, it's unheard of, bro. But again, my determination, my willingness to learn, my attention to detail about how I needed to grow my body, it was just like I was just a sponge. That I was just this, student of the game. That I was like, although I'm like playing against 20 to 25-year-old men, I'm an 18-year-old kid, bro, that has this resilience within myself that nothing's going to knock me down. And if it does, then I'm going to get back up and I'm going to come back even harder.
Like, you think back to, like, obviously you taking a long break from the game and then you felt that emptiness straight after high school, because I felt that too. I said, man, school was like a safe place for me.
Hard.
But then you're like coming out and then you're seeing all your mates going on to like different career pathways and you like feel that emptiness. You go, like, that's just a driving force in itself to just go, oh man, I don't want to feel like this ever again. So you've just found sort of like the ingredients. It goes, nah, stuff this.
And you can't teach that, eh?
You can't teach that.
Nah.
It's within you.
Yeah, 100%. And some people find it earlier than others. But yeah, bro, it was like I was never taught about goal setting. I was never taught about, discipline, resilience. That stuff you kind of have to learn on yourself. Being the eldest in my family, family, I guess that teaches you some sort of discipline and responsibilities. But at the same time, man, in terms of wanting to create pathways for yourself, I kind of had to go down that hard road myself. And I didn't really have any mentors that I could lean on, you know what I mean? I kind of had to face the mirror and talk to some of my peers and my team. I was very fortunate that I had Stacey Katsu, who played for the Rabbitohs back in the day.
Yeah, big Stace.
Bro, big Stace, bro. He was he was in our cup team. So like he tucked me under the wing, being Cook Islander boys as well. He passed on some of his professionalism that he learned from the NRL at the time. So I was lucky that I had him in my team to help me and guide me and all that stuff. And honestly, bro, it was one of the best years of my life, bro, because I had a strong group of men that helped mentor me, looked after me on the field, wanted the best for me. And then, you know, that allowed me to get a opportunity to represent the junior Kiwis with Eddie, that I never thought would be, you know, something that would fall on my lap. Again, you create opportunities for yourself. People will say, oh, you're lucky. It's like, nah, man, you work hard for those opportunities. And when it comes, you're ready to take them, bro. So
you create your own opportunities.
Yeah, bro, that really opened the doors for myself, man. It allowed myself to grow within that professionalism realm. I was playing along players that, you know, I idolized, bro, and looked up to, man. One being, rest in peace, Sonny Fly, bro. You know, he already debuted for the Warriors at that time. And he was bench pressing 140 kilos, bro. You know what I mean? I was just like, bro, what is going on? I was so far from lifting 100 kilos on a bench, and he was repping out 140. And here I am going, all right, that's what it takes to get to that level. So that just lighted the flame within myself, bro.
Now you go on to playing nearly 300 games with the Broncos, man, and captaining them. How was that experience?
Bro, unbelievable, man. I think all of us can say for this, like we never embarked to reach a certain pinnacle in rugby league. We're just grateful to play one game. And every year I seen it as, all right, next year I got to prove myself again. I got to prove my worth to earn that jersey. And that never changed, no matter if I played 10 years for the club or if I was the captain for the club. I always had that mentality that every year someone's coming to take my spot. So what am I willing to do to make sure they don't get that jersey? I never ever see myself as entitled. I made sure that I worked my backside off so that anyone that came to take my spot, they had to work hard and they had to outwork me, bro. And again, it was that mentality of, I come from the hood. I'm not going back there. So you're going to have to pretty much fight me for this jersey, bro. You know what I mean?
That's crazy, man. Like, not many can say they're a one-club man. Like, you know, when I was playing at Newcastle, I was goes, yeah, bro, I want to stay here for the rest of my life. You know, but like you, to say that you've played for, I call it the glamorous club. I call it the biggest club, the prestige glamorous club, the Brisbane Broncos, man. Like, they've got a rich history, and you got to play there for 288 games, captain the squad. How was that? How was the pressure of like you being that skipper of the team?
Bro, I loved it.
Yeah,
I remember that. You done well too.
Thank you, bro. It was when I was a skipper, bro. It was the hardest time in our club's history, but I never shied away from the responsibility of what came as a captain in those hard times. Anyone can be a captain in the good times. When you're winning games and you're on the top of the ladder, it's easy. But to be a leader in those dark times and the hard times, that's where you got to really showcase your leadership. And I loved it, bro. It wasn't easy. Like, I actually went through my hardest struggles personally as well, with off-field dramas with my family and all that stuff. But, you know, it was a test on what my leadership skills were and how I was able to be resilient through it, bro. At that time, we had school kids playing in the first grade, professional grade footy, and we were asking them to be professional players. They don't know how to, you know what I mean? Now, you look at them now, you got your Paddy Carrigans, your Tony Staggs, Tessie New, who's now with the Dolphins, Jermaine Osako, like star-studded players in school footy football systems. But when you ask them to be relentless to play 80 minutes, bro, it's a hard task, man. And when you throw them in with the media as well, that our club, we were one club, our city club. So there was 4 or 5 cameras at every training session. Now, other clubs, they don't get that. No. But because we had this rich history, we had this high demand of professionalism and success, there's a lot of pressure that comes with that, and our boys didn't know how to deal with it. So as soon as I walked in that door, I had to leave my shit at the door and try and be that leader for my players. And Monday was the hardest because we just got pumped by 60 points, and I knew my players were struggling. I was struggling because every week we were training our asses off. We were leaving no stones unturned, but then we'll come out to the footy field on the weekend, we'll just get pumped. And it come down to, the way I seen it, it come down to experience. Yeah. Our boys were talented as hell, right? But they didn't understand the 80-minute grind, right? So whenever we got 2 tries put on us back to back straight away, the boys' heads dropped. They never looked at the clock and went, man, we still got 40 minutes. That's a lot of time to come back. They didn't understand that mentality. They didn't understand that grind. And we had to learn some hard lessons, bro. Like, you look at our team and our leaders that were in our team, there was only myself, Corey Oates, Darius Boyd, and Anthony Milford. Realistically, that played over 100 games. The rest of our roster and our team, there was... majority of them played under 10. You know what I mean? So how do you teach players like that caliber to grind it out? You can't. You can tell them, you can share experiences, but they got to kind of learn in the game on their own. You know what I mean? So it was a hard 2 years, but I absolutely loved it because I taught a lot to these boys about life. I taught a lot to these boys about managing and trying to block out social media. And I taught them how to get that life and work balance on point. And to me, that's more than I could ever do on a football field. You know what I mean? There's no surprise that these boys are now the elite of the elite. Because they went through those hardships. They now understand what it takes to be a professional player. And people are like, man, you're only 24, 25. You're at the best of the best. Like, how do you get there? Well, you got to go through those struggles first. And those boys went through struggles earlier than they ever should. You know what I mean? But as a captain, bro, I loved it. It taught me a lot about myself as well, and actually helped transition into business.
That's mad, man.
Yeah, like
full credit to you, man.
Yeah,
no, thank you, bro.
And it's like, you know, I'm you're one of the Cook Island brothers, man, and you know, myself being Cookie, bro, you're pretty much, you paved the way for a lot of the young Cookie brothers that are coming through as well. But let's dive into the international scene. Like, I remember debuting for the Kiwis, and you were in camp, man. It's the first time I got to like meet you, bro. Like. Bro, we had a good time there, but like, you were just like real young. I think 2010 would have been probably your second proper Euro. Yeah. And being in camp with you, man, like, got to learn a lot about you. But bro, you were still just like fresh young buck just coming through, man. And bro, like, and it was good to see, bro, that you go on and play a mad international career straight off that. What's that like, bro? What's that like?
Bro, it was cool, man. It was cool. It was a dream come true for myself to wear the black and white. I still remember my debut for the Kiwis was at Newcastle, playing against Australia before we went to England and played in the 3 tri-series. And it was a hot and sunny day, bro. It was a day game. And, you know, I had my family all down there. And I remember looking at the Aussie team and I was like, this is half my team, you know. The Broncos were there, bro, and Sammy and Lockie were the back row and half combination on my side. And, mate, they made me work my ass off, bro. That first half, I had 40 tackles under my belt, and I was fatigued and I was gassed. We were wearing black, so, like, it was hot as hell. And I looked at Ruse, he goes, how you going, also? And I go, bro, I'm gone. Like, and he goes, welcome to international, bro. And I was like, man, it shouldn't be like this, bro, because I knew damn well I was getting overworked, bro. And I wanted to come off, and he goes, nah, you got to stay on, bro. You got to earn your stripes. And I was like, all right, sweet, I'll earn my stripes. I'll keep going. But, bro, I was like, honestly, man, I've never been worked so hard in my professional career before. And ironically, I spoke to Sammy afterwards, and their structure and their aim was to just run at me all day. So I had, off the kickoff, Gal coming at me, straight off the kickoff, bang, Sammy coming straight at me, and they just kept coming and coming, bro. And yeah, bro, it was a humbling experience, man. We got pumped, but bro, I absolutely loved and thrived off it.
Yeah, man. Like
Doing the haka, man. How was that?
Cool, bro.
That would have
Cool.
been mean.
Yeah, it was mean, bro. The national anthem actually was a surreal moment for me. I got pretty emotional way singing that in the stands and seeing my mom there, my family there. Because again, this was a childhood dream from 8 years old, bro, and I was living it. You know what I mean? So that whole time where I was singing it, bro, I was like crying, but I was singing it with pride and I was tears of joy, you know what I mean? And then going into the haka, I was like, let's go Handi. Let's do this Handi, bro. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was cool, bro. It's a moment that, you know, for us, we thrive off hakas. It's a huge respect thing in our cultures and where we come from. And yeah, bro, I absolutely loved and thrived off it.
What about the ritual? Like,
yeah,
cracks us up, eh? Like, bro.
Yeah, the
haka,
initiation.
the initiation to the huckers, man. It was like, oh, damn,
and the
it
worst
got
part,
stitched up,
the
man.
worst part, bro, was like I was 18 man on multiple times. So like I had to do the initiation multiple times because like they're like, oh no, you're 18, it doesn't count. I'm like, oh come on, man. And so like my first initiation, man, like I come into the camp late, and so I had to do it at captain's run. So all the media cameras were there, and this was at Suncorp. And so like our initiation is like you got to do the haka in your undies in front of the team, bro. And so I was like, all right, sweet, bro, let's do it.
Did you do it with us in that 2010? No, it was me. It was me, Naughty, and
Nah, I didn't.
And
I was laughing at you. I was laughing at you.
Man, I was going, bro, man, who come up with this initiation, bro? It's
but
part of
see,
the
you're
brotherhood.
lucky you had the boys. I had to do it on my own, bro. And so I'm in Suncorp, G, and it's like echoing, bro. And you're going through a taringa whakarongo, and I'm not knowing what's coming up, bro. So the boys are hungry, and they're like, yeah, let's go. And I start going Handi, G. And then as I was busting out the haka, bro, the boys start to kneel down on one knee, G. And I was like, hey, what are you doing? And so I start kneeling down, trying to do the haka like low as, because I knew the cameras were all watching, bro, and I was Shane and Benji, and they were like, stand up. So like, yeah, bro, I was pretty embarrassed, but that's all about breaking the ice, right?
Yeah.
Breaking the ice. And singing a song on the bus too. Oh, bro.
You got a good voice,
on
eh?
the bus.
I can't even remember what song I sung, bro. I can't even remember.
I remember singing the Warren G Regulators, and then Adam Blair was just giving it to me. You can't even sing that properly, man. Like Blairy was at the front.
Blairy's the worst.
Blairy and Jeremy Smith, G.
They're the worst, eh?
We can't even sing it properly. Like just giving it to me. Goes,
The instigators, bro. Jeremy Smith and Blairy at the front, G, and they're like just mocking you.
Nah, next, get off.
Yeah.
But as I had a good one, I think he sang Lean on Me or something, bro. And he had done it with like mad like tune and everything. He goes, hey, I gotta beat that. What the hell?
Yeah. The old cliche. Oh, I don't know how I'm gonna follow that one up.
Yeah, I know. And the next minute you do go rubbish.
Yeah, 100. But nah, bro. If I reflect on my journey as a professional athlete, the thing that I miss most is those tours, bro.
Yeah.
When you go overseas, man, those tours we took for granted, bro, because you fly business overseas, something that I never ever thought I'd dream of. You fly business class all the way to the other side of the world. It's like 24 hours of flying, bro. So that's an experience in itself. Then you jump on these buses and you get police escorted to your hotels, to the games. You're staying in the 5-star resorts. You know what I mean? You train at the best facilities. We're trained at Liverpool's facilities. We're trained at Man United's facilities. Like these are experiences that money can't buy, bro. And we took it for granted, the shopping that you do. Bro, it was just, it's those memories are something that I'll cherish for the rest of my life, bro. Just touring overseas with the boys, my idols, and representing your country, bro. Rugby league created that for us, man. It's a beautiful thing.
Good pathway.
Let's talk about the cookies, man. Like just a little bit. Let's just not too much, man. Like obviously you got to, help out the cookies towards the back end of your career. What was that like, bro?
For me, bro, it was something that I always wanted to do. Because my two uncles, Harry Cuppy and Te Okatai Cuppy, they represented the Cook Islands, and I watched them as a young kid. And I was like, one day I want to do that. And so once I was able to have a successful career, nationals and nationally and in the NRL, I was like, you know what, I want to give back to our culture now.
Yeah.
So I pretty much retired from New Zealand representative and put my focus on the cookies because I wanted us to have that respect that Samoa and Tonga did.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
And, you know, we just never had that respect.
Yeah.
And, you know, I was like, you know what, I want to put my full focus to this. If I put my hand up for this, maybe it might allow some of our big name players to do the same. And, you know, it was a blessing because I got to take us to a World Cup. I was gutted that it got postponed because 2021 was when the World Cup was meant to be. And I actually had Valentine Holmes, I had Joseph Manu, Charles Nicolai. Like our 1 to 13 was stacked, the best cookies team that we could ever have. And, you know, I pitched to the boys early that this is what I wanted to do. I'm going to retire at the end of the year. I want to make some ways that Tonga did. And the way that I see us doing it, if I get you players on board, this is going to allow us to do it. And
Crazy.
I had the backing of,
Damn it.
I had the backing of our sponsors. And I said, if I'm going to get this team, you need to pay us the same as the tier 1 club nations. And I knew that was a hard thing for our smaller nations, you know what I mean? But, you know, our sponsors come through and he goes, I've got the funding, get the team. And so I went out to all the players. And because I know family, you got to look after your families too. I said, boys, I'm going to match the payments that New Zealand, Australia are going to pay you if you are willing to put your name forward to represent Cook Islands in the World Cup. And they all did, bro. You know what I mean? And so I fought hard for this team, bro. And then to have it taken away from us because it got postponed to 2022 with all COVID going on, it actually broke my soul, man, because I worked so hard and the boys were like, well, what are you going to do? And I was like, I'm done. Like, I'm retiring, bro. I won't be able to play World Cup next year. So whatever you boys want to do, I'll support. And I'll help wherever I can. And respectively, they went back to the tier 1 nations and stuff. But all my work and all the hard work that I put into it was just like taken away. And that's life. But now that we got Carmichael on board as head coach for our cookies, I think it's a huge move. And speaking to him, he wants to bring me and Isaac John into the cookies camp as assistant coaches. I'm pumped. I'm pumped, bro. Because again, it's about passing all my knowledge onto these boys. And helping create that professionalism in our camp that's always been lacking. You know what I mean? And, you know, I want to give back to our small nation. I want to help our Cook Island culture get onto the level that we should be on. So I've been creating behind the scenes some pathway through Bati Fiji as well with Wise, the head coach. And he's the same thing. Like he feels like Fiji ain't getting the respect as the other nations as well. So we want to try and perform some alliances between Cook Islands and Fiji and try and bring, you know, our competitiveness and try and have a bit more games so that we can compete with the best of the best.
And I think they need that anyway, man. Like,
100%.
to grow the game, you can't just keep having Australia and New Zealand as the top.
Hard, bro.
You've got to invest in those small nations that can grow the game.
And the hardest thing for us is we just haven't been getting games, you know what I mean? We haven't been getting games. And that's the hardest part. So now that we got Carmichael there, you know, leading the way for us, it's only going to be up from here.
That's mad.
I think it all starts from like, you know, starts from the grassroots. So
always
like you think about like, you know, back home with what's going on there. They're starting to make some waves there, bro. And it's good to see that, bro. But then like over here, I feel like as a nation, you know, I love our culture, but I feel like we're slowly losing it just a little bit. Just because like, you know, there's not many full-blooded cookies out there anymore. And it's hard. Like they're either half caste Samoan, Cook Island, but they're choosing to go play for their Samoan side more than the cookies. So that's going to be our biggest threat all the time is like they'll go play for the bigger nations.
The bigger nations.
Yeah, bro.
100. And you hit the nail on the head, bro. The grassroots is where it starts, bro. So the more that we can do for our Pacifica kids coming through, and that's not just Cook Islands, that's all our nations. You see what Kingi does here for Gold Coast Tonga, bro. You know what I mean? That's already creating pathways for these kids
Yeah.
coming through. That's already embedded in the cultural history from a young age.
Yeah.
This is where we need to start with all our nations, bro. Because there's a lot of cookies on the Gold Coast.
There's
especially.
heaps, man.
There's a lot of cookies.
There's heaps of the brothers.
And the more that we can create that professionalism in terms of training ethics and trains of morals and values, that's the only way that's going to build our culture, so that in 10 years' time, that becomes your legacy, right?
Yeah.
That's what it's about, bro. So that's, for me, that's what my purpose is all about. When I retired from footy, it was about understanding, okay, what's my purpose? Because footy was everything. And that's what I put all my time and efforts into. So how can I reciprocate that same level of purpose and grit and valueship into my off-field career?
Yeah.
And for me, it was giving back to the kids, man.
Yeah.
It always gave me a lot of love. It always gave me a lot of purpose in what I do, giving back. So I was like, you know what, this is what I need to do. And that's why I started the Multicultural Pacifica program with the Brisbane Broncos, where we go out to multiple schools that are willing to fund it. And we also get a little bit of government funding as well. And I teach them nothing about footy. I teach them about life.
Yeah.
And I run this 10-week program. So I'm in the school once a week for a whole term. And every week is a different subject that we're going to work on. And I start off by telling my story, because I think it's important that these kids understand your journey and who you are as a person in order for them to bring the barriers down and the walls down, so that you can really connect on that personal level. And I keep it real with these kids. I tell them I'm no teacher. You know what? I'm going to keep it real with you guys. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything, because I wish I had mentors when I was at high school that told me right from wrong. And sometimes we gotta go on our own journey as well to learn these, learn what not to do. But I wish I had some mentors when I was at school that was like, bro, you know what, this is what you need to do. And I teach them around values, because it's important to understand who you are first and foremost and what you stand for every single day. And then I teach them how to goal set. And implement that into your everyday life. Because what that does is it keeps you accountable about what you want to achieve. I don't tell them what your goals are. You create it yourself. And I create that, I guess that blank page, and I help mentor them. And then I show them the pathway. We use SMART goals, you know what I mean? A system that is readable and manageable, that the kids can see it and pick themselves up when they know they're not keeping themselves accountable, or they're not staying true to their values and their goals. They can keep track of all that stuff. And then we over that 10-week program, we get to the end where we start doing resume writing, because we weren't taught that. And when I went for my first job interview with Cotton on, man, I was petrified. I didn't know how to talk myself up, because we were never taught that. We were told to always be humble. You know what I mean? So how do I go to an interview and I tell them about my strengths? What's my weaknesses? I don't know. You know what I mean? So, yeah, bro, I teach them all the life skills that I wish I learned at high school. And that's cool, because in those 10 weeks, I've done it for 12 months now. In those programs, in 10 weeks, I've seen kids come out of their shell. I see kids like really break down and talk about their purpose and their hardships, bro. And it allows me to connect on a deeper level that school can never do. And that's no disrespect to the systems or the teachers, but I feel like our school needs it more. And even so, going back to Samoa and Fiji just recently, like our islands need it even more. You know what I mean? So for me, it's like, all right, there's more than just doing it here in Australia. I got to take this elsewhere as well. You know what I mean?
That's so good, because I seen when you went to Samoa, and like for me, that's like a blessing. Like seeing that happen, it's just like I was just proud that you were there. You know, helping out our community.
Thank you, bro.
No, honestly, that's so good. What you're doing.
Bro, it's beautiful, man. Like, Samoa is such a beautiful country, man. Such a beautiful, and it's the same when you go to the Cook Islands. And I'm sure it'll be the same in Tonga and same in Fiji. Everyone's just so welcoming. Everyone is so appreciative of the work that you do. And when we turned up to those schools, man, they were just so happy, bro. And that's the power of the brand of the Brisbane Broncos. Like you can turn up to anywhere and it puts a smile on people's faces, bro. And when you try and when you go to the schools and you teach them around life skills, bro, and then we go out and flip that into sports, how it transitions into sports, man, it opens these kids to what we like to call transferable skills.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What these kids do on a football field in terms of their mateship, in terms of their discipline and their resilience on the football field, it flips into their life skills as well, what they do at home life. And that's what I want to get into, man. That's where I want to dive in. That's where I want legacy to really take off. Is to go out to those islands and stuff, and we start to do more than just what we are as a gym, bro.
100%. Now take us to your gym, bro.
Yeah, bro. So for me, the reason why I started it was when before I transitioned, I asked a lot of the players what was the hardest part, and they said finding something where you get that same value of team. And I was like, I need to build that. I need to build that. So for me and Jerry, we started our own gym because I knew it was going to give me the same sense of happiness and purpose training, but also empowering my members and my community to be better, to want better. And we work at this together. So we started Legacy 2 years in June. Coming up to 2 years. And it was the best thing that I ever did because it gave me that team environment. It gave me that that safe space. And it allowed me to train as hard as I wanted to without any ego, without any intimidation, and create that safe space for not just myself, for my whole community. Now, we got a big walk demographic in terms of the old, the young, the mums, the amateur athletes coming through, the competitive athletes, you know what I mean? And for us, everyone that walks in, they all feel a part of something.
It was a good vibe, man. It was a good vibe on that
Hey,
Saturday. It was tough.
I appreciate you coming in, bro.
I
appreciate you coming in.
I'll come in on Thursday. Evan Daniel was going to bring me in.
Yeah, let's go. For me, it was like, I'm not out here competing against any other gym, man. I'm just trying to create that space where I like to educate my community around the purpose of why we train and why it's important we train. And it's not about physically, it's about mentally. And that's why I train every single day. My mental clarity around my work life, my family life, you know, is just so much clearer when I train in the morning.
That's mad.
And so I try and educate our community around that because we all go through busy phases, right? We live in this life where there's no drama around being locked in and focused around your work. It's about blocking out our distractions, bro. You know what I mean? We take on so much work, we take on so many responsibilities that we actually forget. And I do this a lot. I actually forget a lot of things because I'm distracted with one job over here. I'm distracted with another job here that I forgot about this job here. You know what I mean? Whereas back in the day, we used to always be like, all right, you need to be focused, you need to be locked in. Where we don't live in that era now where everyone's focused in this life. Everyone's a hustler. But we forget so much things because we take so much on board. So, bro, it's I love the journey. I love what Legacy has taught me in terms of business, in terms of you know, a demographic of team environment that's not professionalism. Like if we go to an NRL club, you don't have to second guess professionalism because everyone knows what the standard is. Whereas here, we got to really dull it down and teach the basics. And I love that stuff, bro. Because when you see someone come through my gym, when I see them actually start to flourish and they actually start to be their best version of themselves, man, there's no value of money that you can put on that stuff, bro. When you see the intent and the joy, especially in our mums club, bro, when our mums bring their kids in and they are surrounded by other mums that go through hardships, that go through life struggles, and you see them go out and they have lunch together, they go out and they have coffee together, bro, you've created that. You've allowed that space for the mums to have a safe space. That makes me happy, bro. You know? And that's what we create there. And I love it, man.
Do you remember that time I came to your field session and I was the only one that rocked up in boots? So freaking funny, man. I guess, bro, where's all the dudes with their boots, man? So we done a field session, proper rugby league, session, man. Like done MAS, com block, MAS. And I go, bro, this is mean, bro. The whole community came, man. Like most of their, like how many people we had there? About,
bro, there was
about
like
60 maybe?
Yeah, man. There wouldn't be, but there was probably, it was over 40.
But
there was over 40, bro.
Bro, Jordan Ricky came in, and he was like, me and him were just chatting the whole time.
Yeah.
Bro, the guy rocks up in his sneakers, bro. Where's your boots, bro? Come on, bro.
Yeah.
Pulls out a 430 in the
Bronco.
and I go,
yeah.
wow, no, is that the standard now? He goes, yeah, bro.
Yeah.
430, what a fit dude.
It's pretty cool because the members actually push themselves, you know what I mean? But having you guys there, like yourself and Ricky and that, and everyone's like, oh, like he's taking it serious, he's got boots on. Yeah. But like when you do those sessions, man, I'm 100% wearing boots too.
100%.
You know what
Everyone
I
was
mean?
slipping over.
They're slipping over because one, if I'm running on grass, all I ever know is to wear boots because that's what we do, bro. If we're on concrete, different story. But our members don't know that, you know what I mean? They only know like either you're running on run clubs or you're in the gym, so they only got runners. And it's cool. Like I like to break up our training like that in terms of doing outdoor sessions, doing beach sessions, because it allows us to break that stigma around being in your comfortable zones and going out of your comfort zone. So some people aren't comfortable training in a beach environment. It might be weak ankles and all that stuff. But you're not going to be able to break down those barriers if you don't do it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, I like to mix it up. I like to change up the trainings because it's important to keep it fresh. We do barbecues after certain Saturday sessions as well.
Mad.
Yeah, let us
Again,
know.
I need some people to cook.
Sweet Eddie's got the cooked pork.
But again, it's creating a space where our members can have real conversations. You know what I mean? We don't want to force it. And if you got to duck off for responsibilities, so be it. But we've got breakfast here. The music's going around, coffee's going around. Enjoy time with each other, bro. So important.
You hit the nail on the head before when you said, like, you know, we don't care about any other gym because we've built this community. You know, like, you know, with someone like with a profile like yourself, it's like, it's different coming from you because you can build that community and then like and build that gym up how you want it. You and Jezza, like, bro, that's mad. Like to think that we're taking a punt here, and it's a massive punt because you think about all the gyms around. Bro, but like your community your community is always going to be different to a gym down the road that's killing it. It's just different. You know? Like, you know, that someone might come from that gym, come over because I don't really like this vibe because they're comfortable at that gym. That's good. Go back to that gym.
Hard.
You know, we're all about trying to create our own vibe in that. Hard, you know what I mean? That's what I like about what you're trying to do as well. Like, that's good, man.
Yeah, bro, I love it, man. I'm all for people trying to make a hustle, bro. And if someone wants to start their own gym, I'm all for that, bro. I'm not gonna be like, oh, don't steal our things. Like, mate, the way that I see it, bro, if one wins, we all win, bro. You know what I mean? It's about taking someone's idea and incorporating that into your own style and all that. That's what business is, bro. It's the same with fashion, man. You know what I mean? So you can't get salty about people trying to steal your ideas. At the end of the day, the way that me and Jerry see it, it's a compliment to what you're doing. You know what I mean? 100%. If someone's going to copy you, it's a compliment to what you're doing because you know you're doing something right. So I love the aspect of trying to help as many people as we can, bro. We had a gym guy come in this morning that's up from Central Coast. He's got a gym down the coast. And, you know, he was giving me tips. I was giving him tips and what works for me, what works for him. And I think that's the way as business, that's the way you got to have an open mind around it all. You know what I mean? You can't be salty about it. Bro, I think the more that you can link up and collab with other gyms, the better your gym's gonna go, the better their gym's gonna grow. It's not about stealing their members. It's like, it's got to be authentic as it is. People got to want to come to your gym for the right reasons. 100%. You know what I mean? You can say we're having free members. You can come as many times as you want, but there's gonna be a fade that dies out, bro. When they feel that they don't align with your values, or they don't feel that they align with your community, it can only last so much, the hype, you know what I mean? So instead of trying to bring as many people as you can, you know what? Let's focus around what's our values at Legacy. What do we stand for within our community? So when every person walks in that door, they know what we're all about. And if we stick true to who we are, the people will come regardless. The people will come. That's bro. So I love
Well,
it.
Man,
we're gonna wrap it up.
wrap it
but
up, eh?
We want
It's good, man. Good chat.
share our audience a key message or key messages that you have
Yeah.
that can inspire our audience.
Yeah, key message. I think for me, if I reflect on my whole journey through business, through footy, it's about being authentic to who you are.
Yeah,
because there's no other you in the world. And I know everyone says that, but for you need to really enjoy and go out and find out who you are as a person on your own. You know what I mean? You got to embark on that journey on your own. And what I recommend is like for yourself to think about 3 core values that you live and breathe for.
Yeah.
3 core values. Because once you understand those 3 core values, it's going to allow you to be a better husband, be a better father, be a better business person, friend, mentor, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Because you know deep down, that's who you are. That's what your identity is.
Yeah.
So when you have obstacles in the run, like a party or like all this stuff, if it doesn't align with your values, it's going to be easy for you to say no to that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I urge everyone to take the time within yourself and think about what's your 3 core values.
Yeah.
Once you understand what those values are and what you're about, it's going to help you allow to transition, whether it's into business, whether it's into sport, whether it's into school. It's going to allow you to transition a lot easier because you know who your identity is first and foremost.
That's mad.
Nice, man.
That's mad, eh?
The core values, yeah, man. Think about your core values and write it down and focus on them,
100%.
man. That's the key message.
100%.
Hey, man, we just want to say thank you, bro. I know you're a busy man. Thank you for coming on, showing some love
appreciate
to the Easy Project, man. We just only started this up a month ago now,
it's
maybe
beautiful,
2.
bro.
Yeah, just want a quick shout out to our sponsors, SMSF Learning Centre, and also
Newbie Blanks.
Newbie Blanks.
Yeah.
Newbie
go.
Blanks, man. And we'll give a shout out to Legacy Free Movement. Go check
100%.
them out, man. Go check out the boys down at Burley.
Great gym.
Behind Burley Bears,
Great
the famous
gym.
Burley Bears.
Yeah.
Great
Gym.
gym. Doing good things, bro.
Thank you,
Love your
bro.
work, brother.
No, I appreciate
Always
it, boys. And
massive fan.
like I said, for me to come on here, it's just, respect to you guys and what you do. Again, support your business. Try and help out to all your viewers out there in any shape or form that we can. And thank you so much for having me on your podcast. I'm proud of what you boys have done.
Sure,
okay,
bro.
transitioning out of the game, transitioning into something that we're not used to. Bro, it's not
It's not
easy, man. And like coming from someone that was petrified of public speaking to now going out and you can public speak.
Yeah.
It's about breaking down that stigma, bro.
That's
So
it,
I
man.
take my hat off to you boys, what you're
Sure,
doing
brother.
for our Pacifica community, what you're doing for the people out there. So get behind these guys, man. Amazing stuff,
man.
boys.
Too
Sure,
easy.
brother.
Sure,
Let's go.
bro.
Too easy. We out.